Hey everyone, welcome back to another modeling tutorial. Today we're going to be continuing our Greatsword that we were creating before and working on this bottom part of the handle. So I'm going to create a cylinder over here and scale this down a bit to fit our blueprints. Select the bottom of the vertices down here, drag them down, and kind of maybe fit our reference a bit better here. And you should suck a banana then. No idea where that's coming from. So I'm gonna just close Discord and select these bottom faces, extrude them out to about there, then extrude them down and a bit lower. Okay, so that seems to be part of our handle. Make this a bit bigger. But otherwise that looks pretty good. Select it all, go to mesh display, harden edge. Perfect. So that's probably it for like modeling this. Oh, never mind, there's that cylinder right there. But after that, that's basically going to be it, and we can start unwrapping it in this episode probably, and just texturing it pretty quickly in Substance. So it's kind of hard to see what we're working with here. So I'm just gonna look at my reference here, and it looks okay. I know what to do. So just in case I can't really see this, looks to be about. Let me try and snap this to the middle with holding down V. Make it a bit bigger. Select that vertex right there, bevel it, and realize that something happened. Perhaps. Oh, okay. It was just showing the one from underneath. So I'm gonna scale this out to about, looking at my reference over there, about like here or so, and then I should probably go to this view. Extrude it out like that big. Little thing. That'll be like the heart part of the sword. So also scale this in quite a bit, and take that face, bringing out, poke it, push it in, and that looks pretty cool actually. So let's begin unwrapping this, and also I'm going to save my weapon to my weapon, shields and armor, Dark Souls, great sword. I'm going to create every single weapon in Dark Souls at this rate. So let's start unwrapping this. This should be pretty easy to unwrap actually, except for this. So let's actually start with this because I'm kind of curious. Let's Alt-Shift-D to delete the history, as you can see. Center the pivot, freeze the transformations. You can also find these things and modify center pivot and freeze transformations right there. I have a tutorial on how to add those if you want to know, by the way. So let's open up actually one thing. I think I'm gonna not smooth this though, because I feel like it would look really weird with it being smooth, unless I could divide it maybe. And then yes, don't ask again. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna leave it to be on its own without the divisions, because I think it just looks good like this, and once it's textured it'll look better. So let's click automatic right there. And then how I feared it's like that. Unfold it. And it's gonna take a little second probably, so I'm just gonna pause this. Okay, so I'm also gonna randomly change my workspace to standard, because I realize I've been modeling in classic forever, and it's totally been annoying because you have a lot more space when you're modeling in standard. So there is that. There is a lot of UV fixing for this, but I'm actually not going to fix that because that would take a massively long time, and I think it just looks fine like this. So it'll be a bit weird, but if you want, you can look for another tutorial that would explain UV mapping like that, but I'm just not going to. Cylindrical map this. Also, before we do that though, We're going to want to Alt-Shift-D, delete the history, center the pivot, freeze the transformations, take the shell, unfold it, and lay it out. And then we have that piece with this. I'll do a Alt-Shift-D, delete the history, center to pivot, freeze the transformations, take all of it, cylindrically map it, unfold it, and lay it out. What I mean to say. Let's move on to the blade. Let's Alt-Shift-D, delete the history, center to pivot, freeze the transformations, take all of it and automatically unwrap it, and lay it out. And now we're going to need to select the entire thing. Make sure that it's just got Lambert 1. You want one material on this. And then we will open up our UVs with everything selected and just hit layout, and it'll lay everything out so that it's all equal. So as you can see, all these squares are exactly the same size, so that our textures will be the same size too. And we can exit out of this. With the time I have, I'll prepare it for Substance Painter, and then the next episode we'll just start by opening it. So let's select all of, actually, you know what, one thing though, we did not smooth this, so let's start and do that. I'm going to select, double click on that edge right there, and then take the bottom ones too, bevel it with a 0.1, double click on these sides right here, and bevel those with a 0.1. Press through to preview our smooth. It looks pretty snazzy. And I also kind of want to bring these out though, so select those. And scale that to that. Okay, so now if I press through to smooth, we're gonna need to add an edge loop down here. Hold down Control. Why is this being like this? Okay, select this edge loop. I know what it's doing. Okay, just double click on that with your faces, and then now it should work. Why is it being like this? Come on. Okay, I need to go into this view, put my cursor outside of the weapon, hold down Shift, and just drag select like that, and that should create an equal edge loop for us to then press through to preview the smooth and have it look fantastic. Okay, but one thing I also want to do is click on these 4 edges, and I want to bevel those as well so we get that geometry in. Okay, so let's see how this would look. Let's see here. Make sure they're all selected. Bevel them maybe with a 0.1. Seems to be doing some pinching in the middle here, so let's see what this could be caused by. Probably by this shenanigan going on here, so let's see here. We could fix that, probably by taking all of that, merging it, merging that one. Just realized this took away our bevel actually, I think so. Or maybe not. Select all of those inside actually, so that way we're not selecting anything else. Select all those, G, select all those, G. G is to repeat your last command, so let's do that, and now it does show that better. Perfect. In fact, I'm going to add an edge loop inside of this, so I'm going to select my multi-cut tool again, and then hold down Shift to snap and add one there. Press through to smooth again, and now it keeps it better. Actually, I don't like the way that looks. That looks pretty good. Okay, now let's go down here, and actually let's really smooth that, so let's go to Mesh, Smooth, and then press G to repeat that. Go down to here, and add an edge loop right there, and right there, and right up here. Okay, make sure it's all good. Press through to preview that smooth, that'll work. Go to Mesh, Smooth, press G to double smooth that, Make sure, select everything and just press 1 to make sure it's all selected. That's great. Going to open up these UVs again and probably lay them out once more. Okay. And now we're going to select it all. Go to File, Export Selection, and call this Greatsword _low. So have this all selected still. Go to Mesh Smooth, and this will be our high poly. And go to File, Export Selection, and call this Greatsword _high. Okay. Now, let's end this episode off here, and I'll meet you back in Substance Painter.